Angry protesters set cars ablaze and shot fireworks at French police on Wednesday in the working-class Paris suburb of Nanterre. It was the second night of unrest following what President Emmanuel Macron called the inexcusable fatal shooting of a teenager during a traffic stop there. The shooting of the 17-year-old, who was of North African origin, has fueled long-running complaints of police brutality in the ethnically diverse suburbs of France's biggest cities. A police officer is being investigated for voluntary homicide for shooting the teen, whose name was given only as Nael. Prosecutors say he failed to comply with an order to stop his car, but a lawyer for the family referred to a video shared on social media that showed an officer shooting at the driver at close range, saying, quote, "You can see that the shooting is not within the rules." Macron appealed for calm as he made the rare criticism of law enforcement after the shooting. Two leading police unions have fought back, saying the detained officer should be presumed innocent until found otherwise. A woman, identified as the victim's mother, has called on social media for a memorial march on Thursday in Nanterre, saying, "We will lead a revolt for my son."
Email exchanges from inside the BBC, they talk about the risk of violating Indian laws. It's easier to rake up the freedom of speech debate, but does it give anyone a free pass to knowingly violate the law? America supports India because it needs India's support in return. And India is working with the US because it suits India's interests. This is how geopolitics works. Last night, he diffused a crisis with his defense minister. But today, Netanyahu was confronted with a new problem. His cabinet seems to have rebelled against him. The UK is looking at the Indian subcontinent to fill its coffers. That India seems to be negotiating from a position of power, like a partner and not a former colony. The US and Russia are dangerously close to an armed conflict. This year, 2023, New Delhi will be the capital of global diplomacy. For a country as diverse as ours, with 88% of the population illiterate, it was a very big deal to write a constitution, and that too, the world's largest. Meanwhile, if we may, here's a Republic Day gift from India for the BBC. A list of suggestions for the BBC for their upcoming documentaries. Number 1, the Kohinoor and the colonial loot. Number 2, an outdated monarchy and unhealthy obsession with the royals. Number 3, racism in 2023. We're waiting.